Good evening, honorable colleagues. I'm hoping this session will be shorter than this morning, and then everybody can go and rest. So I wanted to make sure that our next person on the list is ready, Honorable Skosan. So he was telling me that he has gymmed, he's strong, he's ready for his session. No, yeah, they're on the way, so we can begin so long. Honorable Skosan, let me hand over the mic to you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and good evening to all honorable members present, our guest from Masilonyana local municipality, as led by the Honorable Mayor, our support team, the AG team, and other stakeholders that are present. Yeah, no, this morning I think we had the sad story about your municipality. Well, it was not for the first time because we also had a presentation from directly from the AGSA about the state of your municipality, and some of our colleagues, they had an opportunity to meet with you last year in the joint oversight of 3 committees of the National Assembly, which is SCOPA, the Standing Committee on COGTA, and the Standing Committee on AG, SCOEC. So, but we also appreciate that today all of us as members of this Public Accounts Committee were able to have a conversation with you. So my first question to the Honorable Mayor. Honorable Mayor, you inherited this municipality with all its troubles. I think when you came in 2021, the municipality already had 5 consecutive disclaimers. So I think when you and your collective leadership came in, you already knew that this municipality has challenges, governance challenges, service delivery challenges, lack of finances, and all that. When you came in after realizing that you have inherited this kind of municipality, what was the plan from you and your collective to turn around the situation? And then what happened to that plan? Because we're sitting here today, you've got extra 4 disclaimers from the 5 disclaimers that you have inherited. Now you've got 4 of your own disclaimers. So the municipality is now having 9 disclaimers. I think most of the challenges that were there are still there. And the worst part of it is that now the municipality is under section 139(1)B. So what happened to the plan that you developed when you came in with your collective in 2021? Or if you had no plan, why didn't you have a plan to turn around this municipality?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. What I can say, as you said, yes, indeed, in 2021, there were already the historical matters. But we must remember, as I said, I started in 2021, around June, to end the term of the former mayor. And what happened is what I've indicated, that we had to suspend the then municipal manager based on the fact that of the non-submission of the annual financial statement, as I indicated in my opening remarks. And from there, you can't even close the space while the case itself you have to process the correct processes to deal with the matter. Then we suspended the municipal manager, but however, he came back by the court because of the flooded processes that we back in terms of the process of suspending him. Subsequent to that, his term come to an end around December in 2021. And then we appointed the municipality from then was only by acting positions. We were having the acting positions. We were having the acting municipal manager, Melunkile Mkotedi, who happened to be a technical director. And also we found that he was doing the same what was done by the former municipal manager. And we also suspend him and charge him. So now that the new team in 2023, as the MM was appointed in 2023, and the CFO in 2024 and corporate 2024 in January. What we did, as I indicated, that the province did appoint the service provider for us as a municipality to assist us for a period of 3 years to deal with the AFS, to assist us with the AFS. But at the end, the subcontracted contractor to the Fezi Consulting did subcontracted Volusco to deal with the PPE of the municipality. During the invokement of this 139, we didn't get any report from this Volusco about the register of the asset of the municipality. Hence, now the team, upon their arrival, we started afresh to formulate our own asset register as a municipality.
Okay. My second question to you is with regard to the issue of MPEC. I think the MM reported earlier that MPEC is not that functional, and therefore, as a result, they are unable to execute their responsibility of playing oversight on the administration and on the mayor and the collective executive of the mayor, and to also do investigations, play oversight on the annual report, do investigations, and make sure that there are consequence management and all that. But I think you went further to indicate that the reason that they are unable to do that is because they are not, maybe, I'm not quoting him verbatim, maybe they are not well capacitated, and as a result, we have tried as a municipality to get assistance from LG CETA for them to be trained, and I think also from COCTA to be trained. So I'm wondering if we should accept that as scope, because we are in the 5th year of your term, and committees are established in the first year, immediately after the council is constituted. So the issue, matters of training and all that, those are things that should have happened in the first year. After the committee MPEC was constituted, they should have been trained. And then maybe a year later, in the second year, if you still realize that they are not able to perform their duties as expected, you could have maybe arranged another training for them in the second year. I think we would still understand that they are still grappling because they are new. But then in the third year, if they are still struggling, obviously, then the correct thing to do would be to change those members, to look at other councillors, take those who are in the MPEC, give them other responsibilities, and identify others who can be able to do the work in the third year, in my view, that's what should have happened. But now we are in the fifth year. In fact, we are only 5 months or so before the end of the term. We can't accept that you are still raising, as the municipality, we are still raising an issue of training, that the reason MPEC is not functional is because of the issues of training in the fifth year. I mean, even if we can say, okay, let's also assist you and recommend other people that can go and train them, what's going to train people who are going to be, whose term is ending in the next 5 months? I mean, it's quite unacceptable that you can talk about the issue of training in the fifth year of your term after 4.5 years. Is really unacceptable. What is your comment on that, Executive?
Thank you, Honorable Member, through you, Chair. I think as a municipality, it's not that we were folding our arms. And now, on a quarterly basis, as a municipality, do attend the intergovernmental relations, and whereby the status of the MPEC were also, we did flag to our sister department to say we are having a challenge with this members of the MPEC. And I remember even in my report when I said the entire 13 councillors in this, the entire councillors in the MPEC, they are new in the local government. 13 of the 19, they are new in the local government, but we were continuing to raise this from the intergovernmental relation meeting whereby we attend. Hence, at the end, that the Salga and Cocteau Treasury come to our assistant to train the MPEC.
Okay. My next question is directed to you, Municipal Manager. You joined the municipality in September 2023, and the financial year of municipalities starts in July. So when you join in 2023, it means the financial year 2023-2024, it was only 2 months old, the financial year. So it means for the better part of that year, of 2023-2024, you were in charge as the accounting officer. And also for 2024 to 2025, you were also in charge. Meaningly that the last 2 disclaimers of the 9 disclaimers are yours. As much as you were telling us about the challenges that you have inherited and all that, and we note that, but the 2 last disclaimers of 2023-2024, of 2024-2025, yes, those are your disclaimers. I've also noted that you indicated, I think it's the CFO that indicated that in the last audit report, though it is a disclaimer, but there are some improvements, and which the AG also indicated that. However, I want to say to you that those improvements are insignificant, because if they were significant, you would have graduated to a better audit opinion. So the fact that you still received a disclaimer, it shows that as much as there were some little improvements, those improvements, they were so insignificant that they could not get you out of the disclaimer. So my question to you is that when you apply for this post of being the municipal manager, obviously you had made some background checks about the municipality. I don't know where were you working before you came to this municipality, but obviously before you apply for a post in any institution, you must obviously do some background, because when you go to the interview, they're going to ask you about the institution. So I assume that you were well aware that this municipality already is having 7 disclaimers. So what was your plan? What was your vision when you joined the municipality to turn around the municipality, to get it out of disclaimer, to correct all these wrong things, to improve service delivery, improve internal controls, and all that, governance issues? What was your plan? What was your vision? And what went wrong?
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Skosana. Indeed, it's true that I've got two disclaimers under my belt, and we have explained the reasons why that is the case, and for that I think we are not running away from accountability. And the fact that you've already mentioned that part of those prior disclaimers were the fact that there was nothing that is being submitted to the... I'm sorry about that. The fact that those prior disclaimers, there was nothing that was being submitted, except the fact that the accounting officer would say that please disclaim us because we don't want to be charged on or what you already know would be a disclaimer. You know, that's the information that we received. The fact that what the CFO had mentioned that there were no systems really in place. The fact that you have a financial system, but you operate outside it for many years, it's indicative of the large problems that are there. So, yes, whether I had a plan, yes, I knew about the municipality. I'm born and bred in Free State. Though when, at the time that I started, I was working in Northwest as an exco rep. And I've also worked in other municipalities, much bigger than this one, notably Mangaung as a city manager at some stage for 10 years. And people are encouraging me to apply will say, yes, we are aware that there are issues there. And with your role, having been an administrator before in other municipalities, maybe you can play a role. It's a municipality that many people possibly felt that you can't do much. I applied, even at a lower salary than what I was earning in my previous job. And I think it's an element of a commitment that one was showing. With council, it enabled us to also put up a team that was, the mayor has mentioned that for longest period of time, there were no substantive directors or managers, even for that matter, So it's only at the time then that arrived, like I said, 2 to 3 months, we made sure that 2 directors are on board, inclusive of CFO. So our work started then in terms of seeing where the problem is and having analyzed. And yes, Councillor, Honourable Member, I agree that it may be insignificant, it's possibly subjective, but despite the fact that, yes, it's disclaimers, one has made a point that there are some flecks of possible potential in the municipality, and we have sought to work on that. This is a municipality that for the longest period of time, employees were not getting their salaries. And since our arrival, the position has changed. It's only 1 or twice in that period that I think there was a problem as a result of the attachment of the account that it compromised the payment in real time. Yes, the plan was, here it is, how should we be able to do a strategy to turn around the municipality. Where you come to a municipality where there's a deep culture of laissez-faire, where I think you come as an outsider, it's many times, many people have gone through here, and then what is it that you think that you'll be able to do? So yes, there has been resistance, but we are steadfast as management to turn the municipality around. We are admitting that definitely there are challenges. There are serious challenges, especially around service delivery as well as BTO, but we have plans in place in order to see that around. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, one more, Honorable Skosan.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will make the last question and then from there I will make a comment after. Yeah, I think my last question, because of time, is directed to you, CFO, but is with regard to the issue of ISCOM debt. Because I see you've got a huge debt of ISCOM, and yet the revenue that you generate from electricity is very low. So how are you planning to deal with that ISCOM debt in the near future?
No, thank you very much, Chairperson MM. Yeah, indeed, we got a big account of ESCOM due to non-payment. We are not honoring the full account on a monthly basis. What is happening in our municipality? When I started, I first investigated what happened. Why can't we not collect the full amount of revenue from our residents? So what I have found, most of people around Masilonyana township, they bypassed our meters. Some of our meters were not working. So I did that meter audit. I issued that report, and then we were in the process of replacing all the meters. We appointed Telecom through National Treasury. I think it's a transversal contract of TR15. So we are in the process of replacing all those meters so that we can collect 100%. On the monthly basis, our bill from ESCOM is around 5.5 million, but the amount of collection that we are making as far as electricity is concerned, we are only collecting 1.2 million. So we can just tell the distribution loss in terms of the collection is too high. Because of we need to collect 100% as far as electricity is concerned. However, there was a company that was appointed by the municipality to do a collection on behalf of the municipality through the sales of electricity. In the past, it's like the community from Brantford Town, they took the municipality to court, questioning the appointment of that service provider. And the court declared that appointment irregular. It was terminated. Immediately after that decision of the court, the service provider switched off all towns of Masilonyana. And then the municipality went back to court to force the service provider to switch on the municipality back to for electricity so that residents can have access to electricity. So when I engage that service provider, he says, no, I cannot switch off or replace any meter as a result of the court judgment. Court judgment says I must switch on the electricity, so that's what I did. Whether people they have bypassed the meters is none of my business. So I just do what I was told to do by court, because I can be in the contempt of court and I can be arrested. Hence now we appointed another service provider to correct that situation. MM is right saying after we have been appointed, we developed a 10-hour strategy plan to correct all those issues that are happening, the wrong things that are happening. We are working on that. So even this one of the electricity, we are going to collect 100% as far as electricity is concerned. We appointed Telecom through the National Treasury. So once we embark on the installation of those meters, we will be able to collect our electricity money, and we will service ESCOM account fully. I even went further to meet with ESCOM to tell them, on the basis of this, because of people have bypassed our meters, I cannot be able to pay the full amount, but every cent that we are going to collect in terms of electricity, I'm going to pay it over to you. That's what we are doing currently, but we are not servicing the full account of ESCOM. But there are plans. I think in 2 months' time, we will be servicing the whole bill and then addressing the areas as well. Chairperson, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Just before I make a comment, at what grade is your municipality?
It's grade 3. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no, I think the issue that we have canvassed earlier, I think the three of you, about the fact that you are a rural municipality and you don't have a revenue base, a solid revenue base. I think we are sympathizing with you on that. I think that's it's a serious challenge. However, I think the main challenge, according to my own view, is a leadership challenge, both politically and in the administration. I'm saying that because I'm coming from a rural province of Mpumalanga, and I know many municipalities. In fact, the majority of municipalities in Mpumalanga are rural municipalities. Your grade 3, your grade 2 municipality, they don't have a revenue base, the majority of them. They depend on the equitable share and on grants. But there are municipalities who are doing very well, as much as they don't have the revenue base. They use the equitable share for operational expenses, including the payment of salaries and all related benefits. And then they would use the grants for service delivery. They would use the MIG to do infrastructure projects, you see. So as much as a revenue is a challenge, but the main challenge is leadership. If you've got good leadership, both political and in the administration, that is equal to the task. As much as there's a revenue challenge, you can turn around the municipality. So my view is that as much as I sympathize with you that we don't have a revenue base and all that, but I think the problem mainly is the leadership challenge. Once you can correct that, you can be able to turn around the situation. Because I know municipalities, some of them are even at grade 2, where there are only farms and just a small township, one small township, and then the rest of the areas are farms. The municipality is in grade 2, but we find that they are getting unqualified audit opinion. They are able to pay their employees and councillors every month, including all the benefits, contribution to pension fund, payment to SARS, and all those things. They are using their all their MIG and all their grants for project. Others, they are even getting more money from the MIG because they are able to spend that money within the record time or earlier than they expected, and then they end up getting even more money for projects. So once we get the leadership correct, I think we can be able to deal with many of the challenges, as much as I sympathize you on the fact that you've got a revenue-based challenge. So that's the comment that I wanted to make. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. You are welcome to respond if to the comment if you'd like or not. Okay, I wanted to give you a chance. Okay,
Thank you, Chair. I think the point that is made by the councillor is valid in terms of saying.
So you are demoting me. I was once a councillor, so you are taking me back to council.
You are so used to saying you called him a councillor. You are so used to being in council.
My sincere apologies. I think the point that has been made by honourable member, it's a valid one insofar as saying that yes, it's a rural municipality, there are challenges and all that, and we have admitted to that effect. But I'm saying on behalf of the administrative leadership, there is there is a zeal to be able to do better than what the situation is. And we know it is a challenge, but I think we are equal to that challenge. And all our strat plans and our action plans, and also supported by the new administrator, point to the fact of where we need to be doing the basics. Yes, we are funding the municipality in a difficult space, but I think the alternative is not to do anything. Thank you, Chair.
All right, no, that's fine. If you don't have to, you've got something to add?
Yes.
Okay,
Chairperson.
please do.
Yeah, thank you, Chairperson, and also let me acknowledge the fair honest by Honorable Skosana, yes. But I also have to say this, Honorable Chair, that I also requested as a mayor to say the very same, this service provider that was appointed irregularly, so by the then officials, to put the prepaid meters, because it's where we're hoping that as we took out the conventional meters and put the prepaid, the municipality will be in a better position in terms of the revenue collection. But as we benchmark with Tokologo Municipality in terms of collection, so we said let this company be investigated and full report be brought to the council. And also we also agree to say as council we need to improve in terms of the oversight by regular monitoring the implementation and corrective actions. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you very much, colleagues. Honorable Skosana, is that a...
Yeah, I just wanted to add that Honorable Skosana did not make a disclaimer that he himself was a mayor. He was a mayor himself. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Thank you, Chair.
So one of the things that happened at the table here is that when Honorable Skosana started talking about grade 2 and grade 3 municipalities, Denzel whispered to me, he said, it's going to be a long time before they get to high school. Honorable Atkinson.
Thank you very much, Chair. And thanks very much to all of you from the Masilonyana Municipality. I just want to ask you a couple of questions about your impact committee. Does it meet regularly? Is it functional, and does it meet regularly?
Thank you, Chair. If I may answer. Like we have mentioned in our report, we said thank you. Like we have mentioned in our report, is that we have attempted not optimally. There are schedules of meetings. At times they would not correlate and be part of the meeting. And the fact that there are also lots of items that have been referred to them, they've only dealt with one. To us, it just reads not functional. Yeah.
Okay. Would you be able to maybe let us know how often it's met, how often it's correlated, say over the last 3 months?
Should be information that we would have, and then we can pass it on.
Thank you. Okay. And then the further information, or the further comment I'd like to make, obviously we've heard a lot early on in the day about, should this municipality exist at all, shouldn't you be closed down, and a variety of other factors. And I've just done, while my colleagues have been speaking to you, I've just been doing a little bit of investigation, okay. So I see that the municipality has 28,000 voters, okay, which is about just slightly more than one ward in Johannesburg. But you cover a huge area. You cover 6,500 square kilometers. I mean, it's massive. So I can understand your challenges that you have, which also probably does raise questions about possibly we should elevate it to COGTA about how do you deal with municipalities that have are a huge area, but with relatively few people. Because the crazy thing about this is that if you're dealing with such a small group of people, 28,000, even though it's a massive area, it's almost like every ward in Johannesburg having a mayor, a CEO, a COO, you know, like an entire structure. I mean, it's actually an incredibly expensive situation when you come to think of it. So there's really got to be a more cost-efficient way of running these municipalities with few people but very large areas. Because in essence, what we really would want is that for that money to be spent on service delivery, and not for it, in essence, just to be an entity that creates employment for its own people, basically. Because that's in essence what we've got here. You know, you mentioned a wage bill of nearly 12 million rand a month, and it's got to be funded out of equitable share. So the other thing I looked at is I went onto AI and said, are there any other municipalities in South Africa that are a similar size, similar area, and a similar amount of people that are successful? And it gave me the Cedarburg municipality in the Western Cape, which is about 8,500 square kilometers. You I think 6,000. They've got slightly more. I think they're about 38 or 40,000 people live there. And they also had similar challenges, not nearly as bad as yours, but they, I think in this past year, have had a clean audit from the Auditor General. So the point is it's possible. Okay, so it's not impossible for a municipality like yours to be properly run and to ultimately to get a clean audit from the Auditor General. I mean, there's a very long way for you to go because you have these massive outstanding bills for electricity, and you've got such a shockingly bad collection rate, around about 14%. But the point I'm trying to make with these comments is the fact that I see the challenges. I think the country needs to look at how we actually run very large municipalities and maybe find a more cost-effective way instead of employing lots and lots and lots and lots of people to deal with very small groups of the population. But equally, if the government doesn't do anything, it is actually possible to run something like this successfully. I think a lot of it's got to do with the will of the people involved. And to that end, I'd like to ask you another question. A comment was made earlier in the day that you're struggling to get your money out of government and out of the mines. So out of the money that's owing to you, so you're taking the fact that you've got a collection rate of around about 15%, the other 85%, how much of that would you say relates to mines and to government, basically?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to make comments on how you have characterized, our municipality was possible and all that.
Yeah.
And then later, CFO to respond to the one on the percentage of the amount that could be collected from government. We accept that analysis. But I think there's also a context. Elsewhere, we are also involved as a sector in terms of the white paper on local government. It definitely describes this kind of problems and possibly also challenging what we thought 90% of the revenue of the municipality would be collected by the municipality itself. We now know that 20 years later, in terms of white paper, that is not the case. And also the fact that you would want to categorize municipalities as a fit-one situation definitely is not the case. There are different categories. There are those that are rural, but within that, it's not giving an excuse that there aren't method that could be followed to be able to deal with that and improve the municipality. So to that extent, yes, we agree, but we are also saying that there's a bigger picture. It has been realized that there could be better ways of dealing with it. And the other issue, the elephant in the room, is also the fiscal in relation to local government and to municipality. That is a serious issue that I think it's also find expression in the deliberations around the white paper. CFO will talk about percentages in terms of what government owes us. We have been part of those who are saying we know that National Treasury is whipping us before equitable share. Are you going to pay ESCOM, are you going to pay GSA, show proof, this and this and that. So they are sort of like the collector on behalf of this, you know. But we are also quite aware that they're pressurizing provincial, departments, both provincial and national, to say that you must pay municipalities, otherwise what we are doing to them also be done to you. We appreciate that. We also do campaigns where we switch off government buildings, then we get called by the DG, we go there and explain ourselves. We are called by a South African Human Resource Commission, and then we explain ourselves why we do that. And as the CFO mentioned that we have lots of even business people who are illegally making connections, and yet they want to see us in court and try to defend that. It is a challenge, but we think that if we strengthen our revenue enhancement mechanism, there is what we could be able to achieve. Thank you, Chair.
On the issue of government debt, I think we have made strides as far as that is concerned, because of due to non-payment by government institution. What we did in the province, we just liaised with the Director General, and then the Director General called all the departments around the table. And then we were requested as a municipality to supply the invoices so that we can get our monies. So that's what we did. We collected our monies as far as that is concerned. However, the only invoices that are outstanding are pertaining to rural development in national. However, I think 2 weeks back, we received something like 2.4 million. And then yesterday, they had another meeting to deliberate on all our invoices in terms of outstanding monies. So we are good in terms of that. The challenge that we are having, the big challenge, is the mining companies around Masilonyana. They are not paying anything to the municipality, so we are still engaging with them to come with the solution. If we can unlock our funds from those mines, Chairperson, I think our problems will be over. Even the committee that was established by National Cocta that support the municipality, we escalated all these issues, so we are discussing them there. So once if we can get this, I think we will be in a good standing. We will change that municipality. There is a light in the tunnel, even on the issue of this auditing. Audit, just give us 3 years down the line, you will see. We are going to get an improved audit outcome for that municipality. Because of now, we are trying to change things. We are trying to implement internal controls as a recommendation by external audit. So we are getting there, slowly but surely. So we will get there. The mines like, I think, one mine, Harmony Mine, in terms of our data's book, they owe us something like 130 million. And then there is Sibanye, is 71 million. So if we can just unlock that in terms of property rates, I'm telling you, we will be able to service all our obligations. So we had a meeting with those mines. So the issue was that they were not happy with the way the municipality prepared or compiled our general valuation role. So in those meetings, we took a resolution that in terms of Property Rates Act, the municipality, even if we performed general valuation role of 5 years, on the yearly basis, we need to perform supplementary valuation role. So can we do that so that we can pay? And then they agreed in terms of that. So we have already compiled the supplementary valuation role. However, they were still not happy with the figures, and then they launched a dispute in terms of that. So appeal board set as well to resolve that. However, there was a decision that there is a clause that we needed to add on our supplementary valuation also that the months can pay. So we are on that process so that we can unlock those funds. Once we have done that, I think we will be out of this quagmire. Thank you, Chairperson.
So the question I want to ask from that is, if the mines pay and if the government pays, what would your collection rate likely be then? Would it be closer to 80%, 60%, 40%, 90%?
You are right, Chairperson. I think we will be close to about 80%. And then the installation of smart meters as well, prepaid smart meters, will also assist in terms of that. In terms of National Treasury Standard, we need to collect at least 95%. So if we can just address that, I think we can get that. Thank you.
And how many of your residents are kind of on your indigent register as well? How many indigents do you have in your municipality?
Currently, I think we have registered 1,700 indigent in our municipality. However, we are still saying that number is still low. And normally when we register this indigent, we will do it loud hailing. However, it's not assisting us, I can see, because of majority of our community are not working. They cannot pay for the municipal services. So what we are embarking on, we already compiled a plan where we are going to do it door to door using the ward committee clerks as well to assist in terms of the registration, because we want to register the majority as possible. So I think in two weeks' time, we'll be enrolling that program, and then starting with the Operation Battle as well to encourage our people at least to pay their municipality. But we're embarking on that of registering people door to door in terms of the registration. Thank you very much.
Thanks. So would it be fair to say that if you are back here in 2 years' time, 2 to 3 years' time, and the mines are paying, and you are government to pay, and you got your smart meters in place, and your indigents properly registered, that you would have a collection rate closer to 90% than 14%?
That's true, Chairperson. And then even the Section 21 schools, that's where we are having a challenge, because of normally National Treasury will be giving money to those schools to pay the municipality, but they are not doing it. There is one school in Brantford, I think, I forgot the name of that school. They've been utilizing our electricity for quite a number of years without even paying a cent to the municipality. And then if I switch them off or cut the electricity, I will be maybe impacting with the livelihood of the children. So I cannot do that. But we escalated the matter to the Department of Education as well to try to get that money from that school. But that school is not paying even a cent. We are struggling with Section 21, but at least there is an intervention that we are getting.
Okay, and just one last question. We've spoken about the electricity and about the fact that you owe Eskom a lot of money. And we also saw that part of your projects that you had underway were wastewater plants as well. So you were basically redoing or rebuilding your wastewater plants. What is your level of loss as far as water is concerned? What percentage are you not able to collect revenue on?
Chair, can I ask the Director of Technical Services to talk to that?
Thank you, Chair. The losses that we are suffering as a result of our water is ranging between 68% to around 72%. This is as a result of poor or aging infrastructure, which over the years was not budgeted adequately in terms of treasury norms and standards, where it says that at least 10% of your property, plant and equipment should be towards your maintenance. We've got a whole lot of backlogs, which historically you could not even rely on the information that was provided on the IDP. To such an extent that we had to do an infrastructure analysis to actually assess the depth of the decaying or the aging of this particular infrastructure. Thank you, Chair.
So I'd be right to say then that you probably can only bill on about 28% of your water. So if you tell me high 60s, early 70s, so it's, yeah.
Yes,
So
you are,
effectively just over a quarter of your water.
yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
However, there's a twist also to it, in that if you are to put in smart meters, you need to be sure that you are able to extend services to the community. We have also bypassed meters relating to water infrastructure as well. We've got excessive night flows as a result of aging waterborne sanitation toilets. So it's a whole lot of challenges that we're experiencing. However, the critical thing for us right now is to develop master plans which will show us exactly where are the assets of the municipality, at what condition are they, and what conditions were they in the past 10 years, so that we're able to also project it also on our annual budget. Thank you.
And then really a last question. Have you sought the possibility of going to public-private partnerships to try and help resolve your water issue with people in the community or anything like that? Because obviously you don't have the financial capacity to be able to even make a dent in that. Only when we get the collection rates up to 80 or 90% can you then look at making the kind of investments. I mean, have you looked at the possibility of public-private partnerships in your area?
Yes, we have done that. I think we've reflected in one of our slides where we have partnered with the district in collaboration with DBSA, wherein their mandate is to fast track future allocations related to infrastructure for the municipality to access those allocations now, and then the future allocations will be used to pay back those loans. Like we said, also reflected on our slides, for us to be able to bring our road infrastructure to acceptable level of service, we need at least 205 million rand. That is reflected also on the rural road asset management system, which significantly rates our degree in terms of deterioration of the roads as poor. So the challenges are deep. However, I think what has been the game changer is with the leadership of the municipal managers, that we were able to put in or structure an SDB that is service delivery driven, to the extent that we have also cascaded the same KPIs to lower managers, for them to hold them accountable, not just only us as senior management, but to also ensure that they account also on their performance as well. Auditor General has raised a number of issues, and those are related to misalignment of the SDB and compliance with the performance management regulation as well. In that, the targets, yes, they were there, but they could not be linked to achievement. And as a result, even if you can submit, as long as they cannot be linked, therefore it also amounts to nothing. Thank you.
Just one number. Unemployment rate in your municipality. What is the level of unemployment? Sorry. Just the level of unemployment in your municipality, because you say you have a lot of people unemployed. What would your estimate be of the unemployment rate?
You can.
I've read it elsewhere to be around 60%, but I can't remember the source. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Atkinson. May I ask, so I'm a little concerned about the outstanding bills issue. So what do the mining companies owe the municipality for specifically? Is it rates or electricity, or is it both? Can you just give us some context on that? Is it for the mining operations themselves? Do they have other facilities throughout the municipality? What's the story there?
No, they owe us for rates, Chairperson, property rates.
For how long have they owed the municipality?
It's for many years. I don't know whether the mayor would remember. But in the main, in our interrogation, they would even hide the improvements that have taken place.
Okay, let's start with many years. That's important. I really expect you gentlemen to remember. How long have they, how far back does this go?
It was 2017, Chairperson.
Okay, since 2017. But did you, CFO and municipal manager, know that?
Yes, sir. I know that the first dispute that was launched by the mines was in 2017.
Okay, so that's 9 years. So they've owed you for 9 years. So in that time, have they paid anything towards their rates, anything at all?
Yes, they only pay like, if I can give you an example with Sibanye, they're paying something like 25,000, if I'm not mistaken. I can be corrected. However, they are saying they perform their own valuation role, and the total cost of their mining, the way they value it, is amounting to 2 million. That's what they are saying.
Okay, so I just want to get it. So please be patient with me, because we need to understand this over here so that we know how to proceed for ourselves from here. So please be patient with me. Can you just describe the dispute? I mean, when you are disagreeing over the valuations, what does that mean? So for instance, I used to work in Rustenburg. So, and there's lots of mines there. Have you done a comparison maybe with them to see how they do it? Is there a general method that's applicable throughout that everybody uses? Why is there a dispute? Because South Africa is a mining country. There's Rustenburg, there's Leidenburg, there's Steelport, Beggersford. Why is there a dispute here? What is the dispute?
Well, thanks, Chairperson. The first dispute was relating to the correctness of compiling the evaluation wall. They were indicating that they were never given an opportunity to launch a dispute. However, the municipality proceed in terms of billing them, but they had issues that after the general valuation wall was performed, the municipality was supposed to have informed them on time so that they can file their dispute. So that did not happen. On that basis, they went to court, and the court agreed with them that the municipality, we have made a mistake here, go back and correct this. And then that was never done for the past period of 7 years. So we only doing it when we arrived there. So
in other words, there was a dispute, it went to court.
Yes.
And the court said the mines should, this is what Sibanye or Harmony? Or was it both together?
It's both.
It's both?
Yes.
Okay. So then the court said they must be allowed to lodge a dispute. And then did that happen? Did they lodge a dispute?
No, I think that they need to assist me on this. I think the order was that the municipality needed to correct that by going back to ensure that when we perform the general evaluation wall, we follow the proper procedure. So the municipality was just supposed to do that, but did not do that. Hence, upon our arrival there, that's where we started from the scratch, and then we followed that procedure so that they can be able to pay.
Okay, would you be kind enough to just at another time, but soon, as in sometime today, get us the case number and where that case was, so that we can get hold of the judgment? Okay. Have you done a comparison of what other mines elsewhere are paying? Have you spoken to your colleagues in Kronstadt or Rustenburg or Bretz, any of these places, to see what they're paying? Because I think the committee should also get an understanding of this big gulf between 25,000 and, is this 25,000 a month or per year?
A month.
Okay, so I want to understand why there's this big gulf between what you believe they should pay and what do the other municipalities do that have got mining operations within?
Chairperson, I can say we went to the mine as a team, me and the municipal manager and the CFO, even the valuer of the municipality. But we felt these mines, they don't negotiate with faith with us. In the Harmony mine, we're saying they show us how do the Kronstadt mining build them against what we build them. And we said we agree with them that bring your valuer and then even your CFO, and then we'll bring our CFO and the valuer so that you sit and try to resolve the matter. Same as the Sibanye mine, whereby they were saying they overpaid the municipality with something like 3 million. And then we said to them, it's the same what we said to Harmon, can you sit down and try to resolve this matter amicably? But until to date, hence they were saying they will come back to us.
Okay, no, thanks, Mayor. I just still want to know. I don't know if any of the members have an idea. I do want us to get an idea of what mines pay elsewhere. Apart from you guys, did you ever talk to your peers in other municipalities and say, how much do your mines pay? One, alternately, can you just tell us if there is a guide from government somewhere that says this is how you build industrial operations in your municipality? I'm just trying to understand the problem, and I'm not getting an answer in terms of what the expectation is elsewhere.
Chairperson, we have not gone to our counterparts. What the mayor is referring to, it's the mines that says to us, at Machaben, this is the rate. So it comes from them. So it's not us who have confirmed that. That's number one. Number two, we have also sought the legal advice. And our lawyers are talking to the lawyers of the mine. There's also a similar dispute in West Rand, in one of the municipalities. And I think it looks like the facts are more or less the same. So I think that's the information that we could also provide to the committee.
Okay. I don't know about the members. I am not clarified, because here's where I'm hoping we can get to. Because if we need to ask some of those mining companies to come here, then we need to do that. However, I do need to get a sense. So for instance, and I'll use a very stupid example. To register, to pay for the license disc of a car, a small car, there is a general fee that we pay nationwide. It might not be exactly the same, but you kind of know how much it's going to be. You understand? All I'm trying to establish now is, does each municipality create its own rules, or is there a national policy or legislation that guides these things, so that we don't have a dispute where there are 50 different rules applicable nationwide? That's a help I'm needing. from you. Because then we can also ask from other municipalities how they do it. Because the other problem is, you might have an expectation of 100 and whatever million, and that expectation might be unfounded. You understand? So I just need to get an idea of what other municipalities do, and I'm surprised you guys never checked.
Chairperson, yes, you're right, we never checked, but normally there are procedures that we need to follow when we perform the general evaluation role. We rely on the skill of the expert because of a person who performed that. Normally, if they evaluate my house, when they perform the general evaluation role, they will consider other houses that are nearby, check the value of those houses before they can come with the estimate, even the values. So when we do our billing, we bill in terms of the complete general evaluation role that has been performed by those people. But there are guidelines that they need to follow to prepare that. But to check with other municipalities, I think even those municipalities, they are following their own standards in terms of that, because of the values of houses maybe in Johannesburg. They cannot be the same like the values of houses in Masilonyana, because of we are from the rural area. So there's no way that the values of the houses, they can be the same. So the municipalities, they will be using the different values in terms of that. Thank you very much.
Right. Honorable Member and then Honorable Occupant. In fact, okay, let me just ask each member in turn to ask a question.
No, Chair. We can't be going in circles on this matter. It's a straightforward answer, especially to the CFO, because there is a Local Government Municipal Property Rates Act number 6 of 2004. It has the general guidelines that were passed in 2020. I'm not sure if there's a latest amendment. It guides you on how to evaluate a property, a business, or an industrial plant. It gives you a formula. Now, even with the comparison with other sister municipalities, that's something else. That on its own is a guide for you. Did you utilize that guide? And why didn't you use that argument at court for these people to pay?
Yes, we complied with that guide, but I was not there when this initial evaluation role was performed. Hence, now I'm taking a full responsibility because I'm here. Hence, I'm implementing the correct measures to address that, to ensure that the mines are paid. We met with the mines, we had their complaints, so now we are addressing that for going forward. So, and we are hoping that we are getting there in terms of addressing that.
Okay, then you should be able, and I'll come to you, Honorable Matlala. So you should be able to describe this to us. So when you came in, you made your own assessment, right? You look at the situation, you make your own assessment, your reference point is the Act. Can you just describe then to the committee what the Act says about how you value industrial plants or businesses and that sort of thing? Because we're trying to understand why there's a dispute. So let's leave out the other municipalities. When you came and you looked at the original dispute, you then did your own new assessment. Did you find a discrepancy between the two?
Yes, Chairperson, we found a discrepancy because of the initial evaluation role that was performed by another service provider was quoting another figures in terms of market values as far as that is concerned. Majority of our community around Masilonyana, they were querying that evaluation role in terms of the values of their properties. And then the municipality had to go back to appoint another service provider to correct the initial evaluation role. So we did that. The municipality had appointed Mana property evaluator, and then we started there. And then the mines were not happy with the procedure in terms of informing them after we have completed the compilation of the evaluation role. So we performed the supplementary evaluation role. We wrote to the mines that we started here and then we ended here. So now is the time that you can launch a dispute if you are not happy with the market values. So the mines had responded in terms of that. They say, yes, we are still having a dispute in terms of the figures. We needed to separate. There was a land issue.
So you're explaining a lot. You haven't answered my question. All I want to know,
Okay.
if the valuation that was taken to court was 10 rand, what is your own? So you've now come back and done your own thing. Leave the history out of the disputes and things, but at least just tell us what the difference is between the old valuation and the new one that you've done.
The previous valuation role, if I'm not mistaken, the value of the mine was ranging from 7 million, if I'm not mistaken. And the new valuation role, when we are performing it, we are saying the property to the mine is amounting to 380 million, if I'm not mistaken. And then there is a land issue again, because we needed to separate that. So the land issue has been, I think, costed something like 8 million. So the mining is saying, no. Before we were paying this little in terms of that evaluation role. So we still need to continue with that. So our dispute is around that.
Okay, let me not monopolize the mic. Honorable Madlala, your hand was up, and Honorable Gupeg. So maybe you guys will get to an answer better than me.
No, thank you, Chair. I want to know who owns or benefits from the mine that you guys seem to fear, or for them from the mines. You see, what does not make sense, and I'm asking this question deliberately, is the fact that before you were there for 7 years, and you are saying that it was in 2017 when the dispute started. So the dispute was around the fact that the mines were not given a right to appeal. CFO, so that we at least follow each other. So when the court then said, no, these people should have been given a right to lodge an appeal, it would appear that after that, the matter sort of died a natural death. Because if you are then given a right to appeal, what is expected is that you should then appeal and must be given a time frame to say, okay, now the court said we should have done this, so you have a right to appeal within so many days. If you fail to do that, you have not appealed, we proceed and we litigate, we demand the monies to be paid. So despite, I don't hear that they appealed, so maybe you'll first have to just answer me that. At that time, if you know. But also what worries me about this subject matter is that, that's why I asked the first question, because I think we may be arriving at the crux of the problem. What worries me the most is that before this matter was raised by yourself, CFO, it would have appeared in my mind that the municipality situation is hopeless. But this matter suggests that there is a potential. But I don't feel the energy of you fighting to finalize that potential. If I was you, I'll be sitting on that issue every day. By now, I'll know the details inside out. I'll be inside and outside of court, getting those mines to pay. Because that is your only way out. But, I mean, even in the initial presentations, MM and Mayor, you did not bring this information up. That there was actually a room there that we can salvage the situation. You sounded very hopeless. So I got excited by the news, but I want to understand what is the real problem. And from where I see it, it could either be that there's political interference, there is reluctance to act harsh and litigate to get these monies resolved, but there must be some problem you are not telling us. And the problem with that is that then you become the problem in our faces. and you have a responsibility to take yourselves out of that situation if you are not involved. And take the public, forget about us, take the public to whom you owe your diligence, to confidence of what is the crux of the problem. I'd honestly, as a CFO or a mayor or an MM, I'd be sitting on this case every day, because otherwise it's not sustainable that you'll continue running and operating, and it falls on your records as professionals also and political leaders with the responsibility to that community of Masilonyana. So I want you to help us so that we can help you, because we can engage, like the chair wants is asking for the court order. We can call the Department of Minerals, we can call Treasury, we can call anybody. And ultimately those people can be able to get better services. But if you deprive us of certain information, that brings us closer to what the niche area of the problem is, you are disadvantaging us. So maybe again it just ponders on the same question, Chair, which I hope that maybe as we go you'll answer it with some greater detail and honesty. Where is the problem? Because my understanding from the process you explained, they were given a right to say, look, they should have been given a right to appeal. They did not. You know, if they then appealed at that time. If they did not, they were supposed to be given the number of days, and if they forfeit it, they forfeit it. You issue them with the instruction that they must pay if they fail. You go to court. They have not appealed, so the final ratings or whatever the cases are final, and then you proceed with the matter. Now we are here. If you don't know anything about that record, you've been here for about 3 years now. There are courts, there are systems in place. There's COGTA, there's all entities that you can write to and force the matter to get these people to pay these millions, whether in chunks or whatever agreements. It doesn't seem to be happening, and there must be a reason. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, sorry. The reason why I brought up the issue about the mines and the government was because they'd actually mentioned it. So I think a lot of the members on this side were too busy closing down the municipality and wondering what Mama Winnie Mandela would say, and they didn't pick up on the obvious, which was the mines and government, basically.
Honorable Atkinson. Noted, Honorable Atkinson. Can we get an answer? Because here's a question: why has it taken so long? 1, 2, because even after the court case, the process of getting to a point where there is a final letter of demand can't take 3 years. And thank you, Honorable Atkinson, for picking this up. But the second thing is, and it's a very important question, have any of you been impeded from proceeding with this matter with the urgency that it deserves?
The last one is an easy one to answer, Chair. Nobody has stood on our way to address the matter. In fact, we have in our AGR meetings raised the matter. We are supposed to provide quarterly reports to COGTA on municipal service improvement plan. It's also part of that, and I think COGTA is quite aware. But I think we just need a chance so that we're able to articulate our story well. I don't want to give a sense that the responses that I give you, I'm aware that they're short of what you need. I think we need to take a step back, talk to our legal guys who have been advising us on the matter, and then we provide a clear-cut story in terms of our business case. I'm just worried that we might be missing some points in here.
So here is what worries me about this situation, and I fully get where Honorable Madlala's question is coming from. You know, you gentlemen, and I will say gentlemen because the mayor is a political head, right? I'm going to say you gentlemen. I really expect you to have the smallest details of this matter on your fingertips, and you don't, all of you. When we ask you to describe the problem, you can't explain it to us, right? And when we're asking for further details, you don't know. Let me give you an example. I really needed somebody to say, this is classified in terms of the Act as an industrial installation. The formula for charging rates in an industrial installation works like this. And in our view, this is how much they should have paid. They've raised issues, they've said they were not consulted, etc. You say what those issues are. But at the moment, what we expect from them in terms of our valuation is X amount. It's not a long answer. It's not coming. So we've got a big figure over many years, and I honestly, Honorable Madlala is 100% correct. If there was potential revenue that could transform your fortunes, this is all I would be worrying about, honestly. I would go to COGTA and say, we don't have money for lawyers, you gotta give us money for those lawyers so that we can go to court right now. We can get the best lawyers, because it's gonna save government money, it's gonna make a big improvement. But you gentlemen don't appear to have the issue in your fingertips. And I don't know why. So how much attention do you pay to this matter?
Chairperson,
Now you look like a billionaire municipality where this is small money. You're like, we're not going to spend so much time on this thing. Please just help us, gentlemen, please.
Chairperson, really, I've been meeting with these mines for quite a number of months. However, I referred this matter to legal to assist us, so I would request him maybe to provide an answer in terms of how far, what are the issues in terms of resolving that.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try my best. I'm not sure whether I can give you the nitty-gritties as requested or required by the chair. But firstly, let's start by saying this field is a bit more specialized. Okay. Yes. In terms of dealing, there's very few experts in the country that would speak to issues of mining rights in relation to related issues as raised by Masilonyana. Having said that, as a municipality, we have sought to secure the services of one of the highly rated experts in these kind of matters. I would not dare to probably mention his name, but we have done that. Out of that process, we have received a memorandum, okay? A memorandum that outlines for us right through from the time prior to the dispute, okay, to where the dispute occurred and what should have happened post that, and outlined to us specific processes that they said or they advised that this is what we have to do in order for us to be able to get to the end result. In the presentation of the subject, the amounts which they are saying the municipality could be or is entitled to are actually much higher than what the CFO related to as what is owed to them. And we are pursuing this matter in the serious most serious of ways in order to be able to get to that. I have the memorandum, which I will gladly, with your permission, share with honourable members so that we are on the same page. It will take me longer if I were to unpack it as it were here, but we do have it. The fact that we are looking for it and we are taking this stride actually should be justification, through your permission, that we are serious in ensuring that. In fact, probably in the last 2 years, we have attempted a number of meetings in order for us, probably without probably logging horns with the mines to try and get this one sorted out. I know for a fact, at one point, had sought to bring in the MEC in our area, the related one, to try and see whether we can do this without necessarily spilling blood. But the intention is raised that if it helps. Thanks.
On this one, I would really want to spill blood if I was in your position. Because here's the thing. The mines are not willing to give an inch, right? And you guys are not showing the same fight. This is the problem. So they are sitting there defending their interest to the hilt, and you are not. I also want to dispute what you said about the specialized area. Do you know how many mining licenses there are in South Africa? I happen to know the figure as of a few years ago, over 4,500, right? It can't be as rare as you are saying. There are other municipalities that have got mining and quarrying operations, whether it's cement factories in Mpumalanga and elsewhere, or they're all classified as mining operations. They all pay rates to municipalities. I don't accept the answer that you are giving. That is, it's not. Everybody does this. Lots of municipalities do this on a regular basis. But what's also clear is that you have also not asked other municipalities. My last question on this: how often has this been discussed in council, and mayor? Because I really would assume that the council is obsessed with this thing, given the financial situation in the municipality. How often has it been discussed? Let's say in the last year.
I would not remember the number of times that it has been discussed in council, but there are several meetings that we have had, especially myself and the mayor, and there would also be other meetings at the level of CFO and our legal advisors. But to council, the hope would have been to go to them with a solution or asking council to condone a particular area. So, but the matter has it's a knowledge to the both political and administrative leadership.
I think I can read into your answer that council is not obsessed with this matter, because there would have been some resolution of council that says, okay, we want you, to take legal action now, or whatever the case might be. It just makes no sense to me that, with the greatest of respect, and I try and not be snotty to people, you colleagues are beating around the bush on this matter. And I'm not trying to be rude. And you know it. And you know it, that you're beating around the bush. You're not being straight with us, perhaps because you know you should have been more aggressive on this matter. And you haven't been. And you don't have the level of detail that something of this importance should occupy. I mean, talking about it all night is not going to help. I did have some follow-ups on behalf of the members. Do you recall that the members had asked for some information in between? Did you manage to secure it? Oh, but where is it? Did you send it to the secretariat? Because the secretariat then sends it to the members so that the members can use that information in our interaction. So that would have been the expectation. So are you able to remember there was an organogram and a couple of other things, and how many people are paid at which level? So are you able to forward it, one, but secondly, get ready to take questions from the members who asked for that information. So I will leave it to the members who asked for that information to do so. I saw someone, I thought one of you had a hand up. No, I mean on this side. Okay, so I just want to, I'll come to you, honorable members. I just made some notes here because there are some things that are outstanding from our conversation that way. Okay, so you appear to have difficulties with your indigent register. And the Auditor General has listed amounts here. So indigent consumers who unduly benefited from the scheme whereas they were not approved. They were not approved on the indigent register, so that's a problem. No proof that revenue tariffs were reviewed and are cost reflective. The municipality continues funding indigent and consumers at 100% subsidies, which is higher than that recommended by the Treasury. That's what the AG says. Only 1,348 households on the indigent register, as opposed to the National Treasury's 23,750 households on which the equitable share was calculated. Right, indigent subsidies were provided to 1,793 unregistered consumers, totaling 8.9 million. Indigent subsidies of 949, is it 199,000? I hope so. Provided to juristic entities like churches and businesses, as well as deceased estates, and indigent subsidies of 850,000 provided to accounts recorded in the name of the municipality itself. So the municipality is also indigent. So what's happening with the indigent register? Can you just explain to us, what's the story there? Because it appears to exist in name, but it doesn't have the level of detail that would help you help those who need the help. I certainly don't think the municipality itself is indigent. But seriously, it's here as an indigent. So what is going on?
No, thanks, Chairperson. Yes, indeed, we got a serious challenge in terms of this issue of indigent. Last financial year, actually, what happened? Normally, our financial system, when we capture our indigents on our financial system, we will indicate that in terms of our policy, this indigent will be applicable for a period of 12 months. So we will tick that on our financial system. However, because of last year, we only audited fully, as I alluded to the point that we were not being audited all these years. So revenue was only audited first time last financial year. That's where we discovered that the system normally automatically, after that 12 years has elapsed, the system automatically must remove those people. However, did not do that. So our revenue manager as well was supposed to go through the system to check if those indigents were disabled on our financial system. But that did not happen. Hence, they benefited in terms of this. These were indigents that were registered in the past financial year, maybe 2 years back, that were not disabled into our financial system. However, after we have noticed this, after the audit, we went back and then investigated actually what happened. So now we're implementing controls for going forward that only people that have registered for this specific financial year that will benefit out of this. But in the past years, indeed, it happened like that. Our system did not do justice to us because automatically was supposed to remove those people from from benefiting from this program.
So when you say after the audit, it appears to me that had the AG not told you about this, nothing would have happened. You wouldn't know. Because you said after the audit. So it raises two questions, and I think either way you are in trouble. If you knew beforehand, the question is why did you wait for the audit? If you didn't know, the question is why you didn't know until the AG found out. Either way, it points to what Honorable Madlala and Honorable Skosana said earlier, but actually having a leadership problem. Do you see where it's going? There is an issue with the mines where we're not being aggressive enough. We don't know how many times the council appears not to take decisions about a financial situation that could transform the fortunes. Now there's an indigent register issue. it's either you guys knew beforehand, did nothing, or you didn't know until the AG told you.
No, that's true, Chairperson. We did not know until AG came with the audit. Because of we're addressing the backlog of information that was not on our financial system. So my focus was not much on revenue side. I was focusing on the payables for this financial year, but I'm looking on this issue of revenue now for going forward to address it. But indeed, we are not aware.
All right, second last question from me. So can you tell me, so is your electricity postpaid? It's not prepaid?
Some consumers, they pay in advance. Others, like big businesses, is conventional. They pay after they have utilized our electricity.
So in advance, which means there's a prepaid system?
Yes.
Okay. So how up to date are the businesses with their bills? I'm looking at your electricity revenue. What, electricity revenue versus your consumption, there's a big mismatch. So I just want to know your business customers. How long does it take on average for them to settle an invoice, to settle an account with you? Your collection period.
Yeah, because of this service provider is collecting on the behalf of the municipality. I engaged the service provider, I think, 3 weeks back, requesting the whole data book from that service provider. And then these businesses, they were owing to the tune of 24 million, as far as electricity is concerned. And then on the basis of that, I issued the demand letters to all these businesses.
Sorry, CFO, I was asking a different question. And that question is, so one of the metrics is how long consumers take to settle an account. Do they settle within 30 days? Is it 60 days? Is it 90 days? It's on average. All municipalities keep this, and the Auditor General typically looks at this. I'm simply asking, in your case, with the postpaid customers who are the businesses, how long does it take them to settle a monthly account?
Chairperson, only few that are paying. Most of them are above 180 days not paying even a cent to the municipality, but they are still consuming the electricity. Like 2 weeks back, I just engaged Sunvest in terms of outstanding balance. I think they were owing the municipality something like 8.5 million. When we engaged with them, their challenge was that the same service provider that was declared irregular by a court, they cannot pay their money, the electricity money over to them. So they requested us to issue the new invoices amounting to the same amount through the financial system of the municipal so that they can pay. And we did that. They made payment today. They paid the whole amount of 8.4 million. So I'm doing that with other service providers to check what is the problem, why are they not paying.
So in your calculation then, the amounts outstanding in electricity amount to around how much? I mean, an estimate.
I think is 24 million from that service provider, but from our side, the amount of electricity, I think it can be around 40 million, but I'm not mistaken. I can provide the reports afterwards.
I don't like how you guys are never sure about money that's owed to you.
Yes.
Let me not monopolize the mic. The members, the follow-ups. I've seen Honorable Skosana's hand. Oh, sorry, Honorable. Sorry, Honorable.
No, just a quick one on what you are saying, Chair. I think the Chair was asking about the average figure, because there would be an average figure. There would be some Burus owing for 180 days. There will be another one for only 30 days. There will be another one for 60 days. But they should, when you make a calculation, you take all these numbers together. There would be an average figure that on average, these people are paying on 90 days. Even if there's somebody who can pay within 10 days and another one on 180. But when you take all the numbers together, you will get an average figure. So it looks like the CFO, you don't have an average figure.
Yes, I don't have average figure as far as electricity is concerned, but I got average in terms of overall of every service that we provide as a municipality, because of you are only collecting 20% in terms of everything. But I need to exclude electricity out of those services and check how much is an average in terms of electricity.
All right.
But
So
I can provide. Those reports.
okay, let me start with Honorable Mende and go that way because she had her hand up. Sorry, I had missed her. My apologies.
Now, I follow up on this one, Chair. You said earlier on when you were asked about the indigents, after AG picked that up, you dealt with it, you removed the indigents. Now you are asked about companies that are owing and how long do they take to pay? You don't know. But you also don't say how did you deal with it, because it was equally picked up by AG long time ago that you are not collecting revenue. Why are you not having the same attitude in dealing with the matter there? Why are you not switching off? They are not paying, and you have been told for 3 consecutive years they are not paying. Why are you not switching off?
Chairperson, if I can respond to this, I think during my presentation, I alluded to the point that this external service provider that is providing electricity says, I cannot switch off. I can be in contempt of court. Court says I must switch on the electricity. So I wanted to switch all those businesses long ago, but I've been denied that opportunity by this service provider because of, I alluded to the point that after the court has declared them their contract irregular, they wanted to go out of the municipality, switch off the municipality. The council took a resolution that let's take this guy back to court to force them to give us the electricity. And the council did that, they won, and then this guy was instructed to switch on the electricity. So when I engage him, he just say, no, I've been instructed to switch on the electricity, I must not switch it off. So that is his argument. Hence now we are taking steps to remove him by telecom to implementing a new smart meters so that we can be able to switch off our consumers or our clients.
Honorable Kupega. Honorable Mende looks defeated.
No, Chair, I was going to ask the same question that Honorable Mende just asked. Firstly, why not cut off these people? Because where we come from, if you don't pay, you get cut off. It's simple. So I don't understand what that issue is. But now, the second part of the question, Chair, was the CFO spoke about rates and said this is about rates, or the issue is basically rates that are owed to the municipality. So now I would like possibly the CFO to school me like a little child. What other services do you supply to the mines? And when I ask that, I'm asking because I don't know. Do you supply them with water? Do you supply them with electricity? And is it also rates? And if that's the case, are these mines owing any monies for water? Are
are they owing any monies for electricity, or is it just rates that they are owing? Because now, if you can answer those questions, I'll go back to the first one, that if it's water, switch off. Why not switch off the water? If it's electricity, switch off the electricity. If it's just rates, why don't you go for the mine and take the mine, like the vehicles that were taken from you, that you were owing people and they came and they attached your vehicles? Attach the mine. What's stopping you from going to attach the mine itself? That's the problem. That's my question. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. It's only the rates, Chairperson. Yes. You're only charging for billing for rates. No other municipal services.
All right.
So
all right.
why can't you? Then why not attach the mine for the services that for the rates that they're owing?
Hence, I indicated that I referred the matter to legal department to assist us. So maybe they are in that process of getting their account attached, but I referred everything to our corporate services to assist us with.
So basically, next time you guys come here, we should have a direction on that one and know that you are actually attaching a mine, and you'll be the richest municipality around.
I was going to say, since they got paid some money today, they should take us for dinner later. Okay, I'm joking. That can be a headline. Honorable Skosan.
Thank you. Why is it? Begin to bolela Sotho hanyane man. Why is it? Ke khare re bolela Sekgowa o bolela Setebele, ngikhuluma isiNdebele. Chair, you know, I think our ancestors here are really disappointed, you know, the likes of Oliver Tambo and others. You know, in that municipality, you still have names, Herzog, Veil, Verskele, what is it? Verskele, you know, you still have those names in the Free State, which for me is in a bitter taste, I must be honest, after 30 plus years of democracy. You know, Chair, when I'm saying we, if you see us here, we even proposed, I know that as lawmakers it's going to take a little bit of time, to say even provinces, we need to have only 4 provinces, because this issue of having 9 provinces is a waste of money. You know, it's more about, you know, job for pals, or, you know, comradeships, you know, that we need to have people, a mayor there, premier there, and all those. You have a municipality chair. I just want to make that comment before I direct my question to the executive, my last part in short. In one municipality, I think it's Tukuluho, local municipality. They've got 4 ward, but there is a municipality. It's like 4 villages, chair. They've got a municipality. Now, all these issues which we are talking about here, obviously they are bound to happen. I mean, you've been in a corporate world. Both me and you, I think we can't come from that industry. You are better off, I think you are around 19 or so. But indeed as well, hence I was saying earlier, if they can combine all these municipalities, maybe it will work. But as things stands now, and what you've already said to us about the municipality owing you, and I've seen around the country, not only you know, we've got foreign nationals who are owning spaza shops. I hope they are paying as well electricity and water. Now, if you look at these mines, the money which you've mentioned, I think you said how many, they're owing around 120 million. Like as you said, I think Honorable Mente and Honorable Kupega mentioned the issue that if we owe for a month or two where we are staying the switch off, there's no way that you'll owe so much money, whether it's rates or whether they switch off. And Chair, if you know it was before democracy, I will help them with this issue of meters, to put meters in their municipality, in every household. I'll give you in the next 90 days, all those houses will have meters. But unfortunately, government works with bureaucracy. You need to put it on tender, and all those things. But if you were applying Section 32, get someone somewhere who's been doing that and do that for you to collect. Otherwise, I'm telling you, Chair, and the members who are here, that there's no hope that people are going to pay the money which is outstanding, because, as you said, it's a legal issue. It's a legacy issue. People are owing for many. Some are owing. Some are pensioners now. They won't be able to pay you. But my last shot on this one, Chair. The internal controls and how to prevent the future irregular deviations. SIU and the AG are almost sitting with us here on daily basis. In fact, it's like we are working together now because of the issues. Otherwise, they won't be here. They'll be sitting in their offices, but they're here because there's problems in almost all the municipalities in the country. The SIU systematic recommendations requires municipality to ensure that SCM process are followed, that the bid committee composition comply with the regulations, and that the procurement policies are strictly enforced. And as you said, the CFO, I don't think those things are happening. Masilonyana, as the AG has found out, and the SIU said to us that you are deviating from the prescribed procurement processes. They just give you two contracts in the same period. What specific internal controls have been implemented since these irregularities were discovered to ensure that no further irregular deviations from procurement prescript occur? Who's responsible for monitoring compliance within those controls? Is it the CFO? I know the accounting officer is the MM. But I'm just asking that, for us not to come back again here, because there's no way. I know you'll be here again, Chair, they'll be here next year. They're not going to be dissolved, because especially we are going for local government election, and knowing as politicians, because we are sitting here as politicians, there's no way that will be dissolved. That section 139, 1C, which we spoke about earlier, is not going to happen. I know our comrades, it's not going to happen. Now, how are you going to help our people? Hence, I'm saying these are bread and butter issues. I don't think we are proud as well about your performance in that municipality for our people, those who need services, especially those who are paying for their services. The turnaround strategy, in short, Executive Mayor, because we know that there's infighting in that municipality. In fact, I think not long ago, a week ago, there was some kind of a vote of no confidence against the mayor. And there was somebody who wanted to act, they wanted to, there were a lot of issues. Perhaps you can as well, because there is instability in that municipality. But maybe at a later stage, when we are closing on that one. But for now, what would be your turnaround strategy? Because we are sitting here, those 2 mines you've spoken about, maybe a drastic measures has to be taken. We had one in Mpumalanga, when Johan Rubert refused to pay for the service. He went to court. They'll take you to court, Chair, make no mistake. And the courts will delay the matters. There was 10+ million rand which he refused to pay. Eventually, the court made a court order and all those things, but they always challenge those court orders. But for you as a municipality, for you, when you come back here, we all smile. And the people of that municipality smile. Because this municipality, Chair, is not like that one special one. Remember, there's a special municipality in the Free State. I think you remember that, Chair? Yeah, so this municipality is not a special one. at least, I mean, what I've seen from you, it looks like we are agreeing that there's some serious maladministration in the municipality. Thank you, Chair.
The question is, what specific things are you doing to improve the control environment? That was a
Expression after the two.
yeah. Yes, yeah. That's what the member is asking.
Chairperson, I think on this matter of these two mines that honourable member is referring to, we will ensure that at least we push hard to make sure that we get our monies out of those mines. But as far as UIF is concerned, Chairperson, I can indicate that we have implemented internal controls to ensure that we implement our supply chain policy to the latter. However, there are those cases where we deviate as a result of emissions. That's where we deviate. Even on the matter where we procured cars from auction. We procured cars from auction because of, firstly, we didn't have money. All our cars were attached, as we were referring to that attachment that happened in our last financial year. So all our cars were taken away by the sheriff. And then we needed to provide the service to the community. Hence, we deviated in terms of procuring those cars to the question. But we only deviate in terms as a result of emissions. As far as irregular expenditure is concerned as well, Chairperson, this municipality in previous years, they appointed a panel of service providers for a period of 3 years. However, when we were requesting documents regarding the appointments, if there were advertisement done, if the bid committees were set to take decision on those adverts or appointments, we could not get anything. There was only the appointment letter that were produced to us. Hence, we declared that as a irregular expenditure for going forward. But MM ensured that he implemented internal controls. All bid committees have been appointed duly so by accounting officer. But even in the past, if you check our supply chain management policy, it will say all senior managers must serve as members of bid adjudication committee. But in the past, the municipality was just taking everyone, even a clerk or any line manager, to serve on those committees. However, now we have implemented the controls. We appointed all senior managers to serve on those committees. So for going forward, we are not going to have those cases. However, in some cases, we will have irregular expenditure, but we will be in the position of motivating or refer it for MPEC so that they can investigate. The municipality is even established a disciplinary board as well to come and assist the members of MPEC in terms of investigations. One member from Provincial Treasury is part of that committee. The chairperson of Audit Committee as well is part of that committee. So all these people who make the municipality to incur all these transactions, they are going to be held accountable, even liable, after the investigation has been completed, Chairperson. And then recommendation of those committees will be duly implemented by the accounting officer. But
only one, because I know there's no time. I just wanted on this one, Chair, through you. Is there any official who was instructed not to cooperate with the investigation by SIU? That I'm directing to the municipal manager. In the investigation, is there any official who was told not to cooperate with the investigation? I think that's how we have to nip this thing in the bud. Because as an accounting officer, you know MM, that we have to, because SIU, when they request documents, there should not be any delay. Like the chair was saying, when he was asking question, that is surprised sometimes. I think Honorable Skosana asked as well, that on average, at least as a CFO, you should have an idea to say, this is where we are. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm not aware wherein there was an instruction to an official not to cooperate. If that were to come to the attention of accounting officer, would know what to do. There'll be consequences for that. I think we have relatively been cooperating with SIU. There was only one instance where they came and did a seizure operation. I don't know, it came as a result of them having obstacles, but we have since even taken those matters that deal with law enforcement agencies that dealt with in the office of the accounting officer. We have roped in Director of Corporate Services because of his legal skills to assist that. So we've got a very good relationship with SIU.
All right, thank you very much. Can I give the members, so if you recall, thank you, there were some follow-up questions that were outstanding. So I'll start with you, Honorable Mend, and then the members will say as we go along, because earlier on, we had ended somewhere before you were finished, and you had asked for some information. Can we deal with that?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, let me first address something that's very important. We pride ourselves with the name and align without fear or favor with the name of Mama Win. And we are going to invoke it as and when. So if anyone is bothered about that shame, they will have to live with it. And secondly, the issue of applying critical thinking in assessing situations of this nature cannot be isolated to a person who picks up one item and thinks the whole house must applaud that. Mama Mayor, I just want to ask you one question. The rest goes to your support team. Did you, or is there any person from Masilonyana who have tried to stop you from coming here and account? Or was there any process that tried to hinder the processes of you coming here to account?
Thank you, through Chairperson. Administratively, there was no one who prohibited me to come, but politically, I can say yes, because all I can say, last week, Friday, I knew about this as it was postponed from the 20th. But I was called in a meeting for tendering my resignation by Friday last week. And then I tried to explain part of me being here today. And then what happened, the motion was pushed, but with not following the processes, but it was the Speaker of Council didn't take it through. That's all I can say.
Thank you. We needed to clear that. I think my colleague tried to ask it, because we don't want a situation where tomorrow we are told we sat with an illegitimate mayor, but as things were, you are the mayor, as you were elected in council by the time you started. Now, CFO, the second question to the mayor. Did the MEC write to you in respect of the appointment of the CFO and his departure from the previous municipality becoming a problem with the time frame within which he can be appointed as a CFO again? And what was your response?
Yes, indeed, the MEC wrote to me on the That was the 12th of February 2024, and then I took the matter because it was an instruction from the MEC to take the matter to council, and the matter went to council. But thereafter, there were the council resolved to say the tracker go together with the MM and the corporate director to meet with the MEC. But however, in short, what I can say on this matter, it has brought in the table of the council with the indulgence of the administrator, of which the ad hoc committee is being appointed that is led by the administrator to deal to the latter with the matter and report back to council.
So 3 years later, the matter is being resolved. Do you believe that your council followed the right processes in appointing the CFO who was fired from another municipality because of misconduct? And in terms of the legislation, is that he cannot be a CFO until he spends a certain time outside the office of the CFO?
I think if the item that was, I did serve to council notifying us there before the MEC wrote a letter to us, the council could have pronounced itself otherwise.
I'm not understanding, Mayor, your response. Do you think you followed the right procedures in appointing a CFO who was fired from his previous job?
Honorable Member, based on what the written letter from the MEC, we were not followed the right process. But safely to also to say, if we knew about the case that has been pursued to other municipality by the CFO, we could have pronounced ourselves otherwise as council.
So who was handling the matter of the appointment if they didn't do the thorough process of vetting the CFO? Because that goes with the vetting processes, understanding your previous work, understanding criminal cases, and even understanding your standing in society.
There was a panel that involves also a council, finance chairperson that was delegated by the council, also led by the accounting officer for those processes of appointment.
So accounting officer next to you, the MM?
Correct.
MM. Did you follow procedure in appointing the CFO, and did you do the thorough vetting processes in finding out their previous disciplinary cases, criminal cases, and standing in society?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, yes, I was part of the panel that was appointed by council, and we responded to the issues that were raised by the MEC, Makume, at the time, quite in detail, and up till to the point where the MEC led off the matter, especially as it was clarified that the CFO, in terms of the charges in the previous municipality, were of no financial misconduct. Therefore, they don't invoke a 10-year reprieve. So that was explained, amongst other things, in the letter to the MEC. And the MEC at the time stated with the matter, though council had said on their own through the two legal opinions that they received, that the council cannot take itself to court on the matter, but the MEC is at liberty to have a declaratory order. And the matter has been discussed in subsequent councils, and both the response from council as well as opinions from legal advisors. Thank you, Chair.
But why there is an ongoing process with the administrator if that is the case?
In the meeting that honorable members have referred to that took place around last year, the matter got raised and the committee said to the MEC they must deal with the matter further. So I would imagine now that the municipality is under 139B, it was given to the administrator to look at it.
Well, Chair, the MEC will have to come here because if the MEC knows very well that we have appointed a CFO who is not supposed to have been appointed to Masilonyana, then the mess that is there today is justified. And especially that there is an ongoing process again by the administrator from the very same office. It means the matter was never resolved. And we are sitting with a CFO who's under question mark. So I think on that one, you will not answer yourself. We'll have to get the MEC to come and explain themselves on this matter. Now, I want to understand from you, MM, from yourself to your managers, do you pay your own pension funds to your pension fund holder?
Repeat the question through you, Chair.
Do you pay your pension funds to the pension fund holder of your benefits? Transfers. Very earlier on, we're talking about transfers that you cannot do because you don't have money. I'm asking, do you transfer your own pensions to your pension funds holder?
As Section 58 members.
Yes, from yourself and all the managers that are in charge of the municipality under you.
Chair, when we sign a contract, each member is required to belong to a pension fund, to, what's the other one? It's either pension fund, I forgot it. So it's in their contract that they should be able to do that. So I would imagine all 56, including myself, we are obliged to pay for that.
Who makes that transfer? Yourself from your salary or the municipality?
The Section 56 and they are under the regime of a total cost to the employer. They make the allocation.
No, let's make it simple. We are talking to the people now. Stop using the jargon of finance. Who is making that transfer? Is it money paid to you and you make it yourself? Or is it the municipality that transfers the money as pension fund, UIF, and any other to the pension fund holder?
I do it from my own fund, from my own salary. I'm not assisted by the municipality.
But it is paid to you as a pension fund allocation?
No, I get a total amount directed to me. Then I allocate that this will go to my housing, this will go to medical, this is going to pension. It's got nothing to do with council. Council is not subsidizing that. They've just given me the total amount and then I restructure it accordingly.
That's exactly where I'm going. Because the total sum paid to you encompasses every benefit you must get, but the workers are not getting their benefits. Can you see the contradiction? You sign a contract that gives you your full benefit, but you yourself are not transferring the same benefits for workers. How does that work?
Through you, Chair, that's why we have said on record that since our arrival, we have sought to remedy the situation, and the records would show that this administration has made attempt to pay what is due to pension funds.
What is other allowance in your allowances? There is a disclosure of other allowance in your financial statements under your salaries, especially your one. The other allowance is 15,000 rand. What is other allowance? Yours is 15,000. Mrs. Silo, whose community service is 54,000, which is a reduction by half. Last financial year, it was 105,000. Mr. Amos is 9,000. Mr. Tsepiso is 88,000, an increase from 4,000 last financial year. What is other allowance?
Through your chair, could I ask CFO to explain that?
No, thanks, the Chairperson. Other allowances will be like traveling cost. It can be car allowance.
No, CFO. Traveling cost and car allowance is separate. You and housing allowance is separate. You have a disclosure item called other allowance under your financial statements. And I'm going to make an example with this one of Senior Manager Corporate Services, Mr. Tsepiso Tsote is here. Yeah, I'm here. Yes. You have an other allowance of 88,000, which last financial year was 4,000. What is that for?
Maybe cell phone allowances. I just want to.
Notes to the audited annual financial statements declared by you, CFO. These are the monies we're asking about earlier on, which make up the 15 million, which is not a 15 million, it's almost 18 million, what I'm calculating here per month.
Yes.
And above 50% of it goes to yourselves, not to the workers. Now we want to know, what is it that you pay yourselves? What are these line items that you are paying yourself?
Other allowances, like I mentioned, it can be cell phone allowance. I was thinking that maybe travel allowance is for that, but I just want to check what is for other ones. But I know I got a cell phone allowance under my name. I get something like 2,000 if I'm not mistaken. If you calculate it by number of months that I started there, I think you might get 15,000, yeah.
You know, can you not assume what this number I'm talking about? Because we're not going to live here without being told.
Yes.
Someone had an other allowance of 4,000 last year, 2024 financial year. This financial year had an other allowance of 88,000.
80,000.
And we do not know. These are part of the problems that are ballooning the salary bill, which doesn't talk to the people. Now let's go to why you are owing SARS and ESCOM. ESCOM, you were part of the debt relief arrangement with ESCOM, and you spoke of it earlier on. Now you are outside of that debt relief arrangement with ESCOM. Why? Who did not adhere to the terms of memorandum of understanding with yourselves and ESCOM? And that was initiated by Parliament through the what is this thing, that committee, ministerial committee. That was initiated by this committee, so that ESCOM can go to especially smaller municipalities where you do not generate revenue. But you did not adhere to the terms of ESCOM and the arrangement. Why?
Chairperson, yes, indeed, we did not adhere to the memorandum of understanding of ESCOM due to the fact that we have a low revenue collection. I alluded to the point that our monthly billing of ESCOM.
Sondeza mic but.
Okay, I alluded to the fact that our billing from ESCOM on a monthly basis is ranging from 5.5 million, and they were only collecting 1.2 million. As a result of that, we could not adhere to that memorandum because of one of the conditions was that we need to order the full account of ESCOM on a monthly basis. But because of the low collection of revenue, we could not adhere to that. Hence, now we're taking out of that program, debt relief program. However, we took this matter to council to deliberate on it, where we were served with letters by National Treasury before they can take us out of that program, where the council engaged even the community through the bilaterals. We took a decision that we are gonna go with Section 78 of the Municipal System Act with ESCOM. So those discussions have started in terms of addressing this challenge. So indeed, we're taking out due to non-payment to ESCOM.
I'm great you go back to that. Do you have debt collectors appointed by the municipality?
Yes.
How much do you pay them a month?
We haven't paid them even a cent to date because of we appointed them in terms of the risk. We said, please, because of we are struggling to collect from our farmers, even these big businesses collect. In terms of that, you can bill us in terms of the collection. So the service level that has been signed, they have to charge us 20% as far as revenue collection is concerned. But we specifically appointed them to collect on farmers because of we are struggling.
Have they collected anything?
We haven't seen any results. However, there's invoices that they've submitted, so I'm in the process of reviewing those invoices to satisfy myself if the money they have collected anything.
The last one, and you must come back with the other allowance explanation, is the latest recruitment drive you have done in Masilonyana. How many people, or when last did you appoint staff in Masilonyana and for what?
Chair, if Director Corporate could talk to that, I think it would relate to in the past, most of EPWP workers were doing work that was supposed to be done. Yeah, I think.
A direct answer would be the latest would be, for instance, we employed directors sometime last year. But in the context of how you are explaining that, yes, we did employ at service delivery level last year. Okay, maybe I have to give a genesis so that the context is correctly understood, Chairperson. When we started around 2024, Honorable Member, we had complaints, a number of appeals from labor relating to possible exploitation of those that came into the system as EPWP participants, who to a large extent, over an extended period of time, were not rotated as required in terms of procedure. These were crucial people in terms of service delivery, but they continued within the system to be classified as EPWP and so paid. Instead of getting salaries, it would be the normal stipend, 2.5, 2.1 here and there, and all of that. Now, over time, through we went on a drive, advertised post, to seek to close the vacancies which mainly existed and impacted service delivery. And that's what we did. At the time, we had, I think, just over 87 people who were in the system performing that kind of function. And that's the people that, after this process, we roped in or brought in, and their fortunes changed in terms of salaries from 2.1 to just over, I think, 10.5 or so. If I can just check my details, but that's what we did in relation to that group employment. If it answers the question, Honorable.
Partly, it is partly answering the question. This is 2024. Okay. Now, you yourselves, in your own admission, besides what the chair was asking you earlier on from AG, 2023-2024 on the EPWP line, you overspent at 254%, 154 unauthorized. 154% unauthorized. Your own admission, this is page 29 of your own submission to us. 2024-25, you overspent by 15% on EPWP. Now, 25-26, I think these are ones you are going to submit now in June. You have already overspent by 6% in EPWP. Now the question is, where will you get the money to pay the people you are employing on the unfunded mandate? And Mayor, you can see now where your problems come from. Before you, let's hear the person of corporate. 154 overspending, 15%, 6%. You keep overspending even when you are told you are overspending. And by own admission here, 23-24, 254% expenditure on EPWP, 115%, 106%. Why do you do that?
Chairperson, let me assist him. Yes, we overspent as far as that grant is concerned. And there is someone who is appointed in our municipality to deal with this issue of indigent. She attending the meeting with the province. So we were told that even if the budget of EPW, let me make a roughly example that, let's say our budget was 1.3 per annum, and then we utilize the whole budget before financial year ends. As a municipality, we can raise our own funding to fund the EPWP. In the next financial year, the department that is responsible, the expanded public works, they will look on that matter to ensure that they increase our budget. But indeed, we are raising funds, we are paying them out of our own budget because of we don't have employees to execute that mandate. So they are assisting us in terms of discharging that.
But you can't fully pay your workers. So which money are you utilizing to pay them?
If you can check the money that we are paying for EPWP, we are paying them something like 2 3,500 or 4,000. It's not more than 4,000. So we are able to raise that because it's very little.
4 minutes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. No, I'm not understanding you. You can't transfer the full benefits of your own workers. You have workers whose pension funds are still not paid, but you raise money to pay new workers because you are told at the province, employ more people. And now you are also bringing 2 salary scales. Corporate says you have increased the salaries of the new employees to 10,000. You are saying it's 2.5. Which is which, and where is this money coming from? That cannot pay the pensions of the workers.
Indeed, Chairperson, we owe pension funds, but if you can check the improvement we made as a new management in terms of the payments of the pension funds, you will really appreciate it because of when we started here in this municipality, like Municipal Workers Retirement Fund, we're owing the tune of 11 million.
Sorry, Sef, okay, I've got to intervene for Honorable Member here. Honorable Member is raising an issue of principle.
Yes.
You have people that work for you.
Yes.
You owe them pension contributions.
Yes.
Right. And there is a backlog on those payments.
Yes.
Right. She's asking a simple question. Why is it that you choose to employ additional people, pay them from basically you have a pot of money that you pay additional people beyond what was envisaged, while you are not contributing, you are not catching up with the backlog of pension contributions? That's the question she's asking. Don't go to, we've made attempts. It's a question of principle. It's a management and council decision consciously not to backfill what is owed to permanent workers. So don't tell us about what you've done. Tell us why it is that you are choosing to take a pot of money and overspend on EPWP when you owe people their pensions that they've already worked for.
No, Chairperson, let me admit that yes, we owe pension funds, but we needed those people to execute council mandate of providing services to our community. We got a high vacancy rate in terms of our structure. If we can be able to appoint people, are going to pay more than what we are paying these people. So hence we are utilizing EPWP because of at least we are paying less amount there. That's what I can maybe indicate to this committee.
You are creating problems for the municipality. When you leave, that municipality is going to inherit a ballooned salary bill because your calculations are not correct. Also, when you are saying, we asked you earlier on, I don't know if you've sent it because by the time I was talking here, I haven't received that email of your staff component and your organogram because your population is very small. How many people do you require? And this is a rural municipality. How many people do you require to provide services? And what services are you providing? And this is linked with the question of all of you paying yourselves a lot of money and other allowances. But what is it exactly that you do, and which you can sit here and say, we have done the following for the people of Masilonyana and we're proud? What are these services that they must provide to the people of the rural municipality? Which services are they?
So I'm going to ask you to ask you if you've got another one, ask it because, yeah.
also to the fleet you spoke to earlier on, you went to buy cars because your other cars were attached, which is the case even today. I want to understand, do they now work, and how do you maintain those cars? Because you don't have operational money. Even on your capex here, the MIGs is already overspending everything. How do you maintain your services? So when you have cars, you must have people to drive them, and you must have money for them to do something. If you have a car that is going to go fix a sewer, and they go fix water leakages, others are fixing electricity, you need money to do that. So where do you get money to do that? And again, what are the services that are you providing, and how many people do you need to provide those services? Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Chairperson. Those cars, we are still utilizing them as the municipality. They've been allocated to different departments to utilize them. In terms of maintaining them, beside the equitable shares that we are getting on the quarterly basis, we got our own revenue collection of 20%. We collect something like 5.2, or sometimes it's 3 or 2 million. So we tap on those collections to maintain our cars. So they are still in operation. We are utilizing them to do service delivery to our community. Thank you very much.
What services are you providing? How many people do you need to do those services?
We got a department called Technical Services, mainly is dealing with the challenges of water, sanitation. There is another department that is dealing with the refuse removal. So all those departments, we are using those cars to those departments to provide services to our communities. Compactor trucks, yeah, we are giving them fuel on the daily basis or on the weekly basis. So
okay, no, you are not
fine.
answering, Seifo. I'm going to say, please provide this in writing.
Okay.
What are the services that your municipality is responsible for? What is the capacity in terms of personnel per department? At what level are those people? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Mente. Can I just check with the honorable members? Were there any other follow-ups, Honorable Madlala?
Thank you, Chair. There's no follow-up actually for myself, but I think it's a statement that I must make in front of the colleagues and the public that I think having listened to the submissions for quite some time, I can formulate a summary that suggests that there is potential for the municipality, but definitely not under the current leadership and administration. What the mayor said some of the very profound things following the questions from Honorable Mente. And those things that she said spoke to why MPEC is not functional, why there is no appetite for consequence management. The political instability and political issues also answered my question around why there is no agility to deal with the issue of the mines. Because this is all one picture that suggests that there is never going to be progress there. It's not going to happen. Because the center is not holding. And when you have a center that is not holding, it does not matter the effort and the potential that are there. You are going to have a situation like we see of trying to mend holes on a leaking roof when others are poking holes. So I think that despite what my Honorable Skosana said, we must move towards or look into the possibility of that recommendation for the dissolving of the municipality and allow the people of the area to determine their own fate. Maybe November may be too far. to decide what they want to do with their municipality. And I sometimes I feel for you as administrators, because you know, you may be competent administrators, I don't know you, but you find yourself sitting in front of cameras and mumbling, you know, not because you don't know your story, but because you are trying to balance yourself between what is right and what should be said and what should not be said, and how do you save yourselves and save your jobs and serve your master in the process. And that is a very dangerous space to live in, because it speaks to your integrity. When we sit here, we think about your integrity as a person. When all the dust settles, and especially if you are still younger and you go and apply for jobs somewhere, you can't say, no, I knew what was supposed to be. Because the issue of the capacitation of MPEC and the trainings, we have long went past that discussion in this committee around different entities. We have no issue of capacity in the country. We have no issue of lack of capacity. People know exactly what they are supposed to do. They are just cornered by conditions and the question of whether they should comply with their integrity and consciousness, or they should conform and try to survive within the system that is inevitably corrupt and irreparable. But your conscience at least should rest with the people of the area. I've never been there, but I can tell you there's no service delivered. I don't need to go there to know. I can tell from what we are dealing with here that there's no service delivered in that area. And the people are suffering, unfortunately, because of the choices of their own votes in the area. I just wanted to make that comment, Chair, and end it there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Madlala. So can I make a request? So can you please finish the committee with the following? So let me just ask a question. How often does council sit? Your full council sitting? How often does it sit?
It's on average of bi-monthly.
Okay, you said quarter, you said bi-monthly. Now we need to know which one is which.
Read from there, we do have a schedule of council meetings. Extrapolate from that, how many times?
All right. Yes, obviously, we, according to the schedule, it would sit 4 times in a year to be able to consider all those things. But in between, we have a number of special councils which convene in order to be able to hear, you know, every time there's other matters relating thereto. Yeah.
All right, no, thank you very much. So can I ask, so from the beginning of this term, can you send us the list of meetings, okay, council meetings that you've had? Can you please send us just the agenda? We don't want minutes, just the agenda of each of those meetings. And then the resolutions taken at each meeting. I think that should be enough to help the support staff here to make an assessment of how often the council resolved, put on the agenda and resolved on the most important matters that we were discussing. So you know that's why I am making the request. So nothing is, that is to assist the committee members in therefore deciding what to do, because in your case, we really do need to write a report for the speaker. You were referred to the speaker, and the speaker asked this committee and COGTA to engage with you. So we need to be clear about what the picture is. So if you can please provide us, the colleagues will then write a short report for the members to consider, and then we will send it upstairs. So that's why we are looking. So apart from our interactions here, please provide us with a case number and that judgment. Remember that case that involved the mining companies, right? So that is the second thing that you need to provide for us. The third thing that you need to provide us is your biggest debtors. That is your harmonies and your, or yeah, basically, let's say your top 20 debtors and how much they owe you. And then please provide us, CFO, please, as part of that report, how much monthly revenue you would be getting if, let's say, that matter was settled in the manner you envisage, how much in additional monthly revenue from that dispute, how much you would be making. That information is important for the committee to consider issues around viability and so on. Right. Okay, so that is why I'm asking for that information. Right. And then finally, in terms of consequence management, just how many officials have been disciplined and what was the outcome of that discipline on matters relating to what the Auditor General or SIU or whoever has raised over the time. The last a question I have is just, in fact, I know you had addressed it earlier, the regularity of your interactions with COGTA. Let me just ask this question. How many times in this term have you been to the legislature to account either to a committee like ours, the Public Accounts Committee, or the relevant portfolio committee, the COGTA portfolio committee? Have you ever been called to speak to them, and how many times? Do you remember? No, this is just a question for here. No, this is not for writing. I'm just asking now.
Okay. I think we have to recall when we are called by legislature, whether the PROPEC or any other committee, and petitions committee. I don't know if the mayor would remember.
Let me put it to you this way. These matters that we are canvassing here, how many times has the portfolio committee or the Public Accounts Committee in the legislature, how many times have they asked you to come and talk to them about the same things?
I think that thank you, Chair. The portfolio committee called us twice, and then followed by
since 2021, or since when? Yeah, okay, since 2021. Okay.
Yes, yes. They called us twice. That was last year in 25 June, and then they did make follow up even this year, and then there was the PROPEC. We appear before PROPEC, and also the NCOP once from PROPEC and once from NCOP.
Okay, no, thank you. We'll make further inquiries with them in this respect. Okay. Honorable members, I don't want to stretch this any longer unless I see hands. Honorable Skosan.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. Just last question from my side. Is in fact, it's a follow-up from the question that was raised earlier by Honorable Mente to the Honorable Mayor regarding whether she was prevented from attending this meeting. And the Honorable Mayor responded by saying, not from the administration, but politically, she was prevented because she was supposed to submit a resignation. And then I just want to understand whether were you instructed by your own political party to submit a resignation, maybe because the political party has taken a decision to recall you? Is it that the case, or what? Just what you clarity on that?
Yeah, correct, Honorable Member.
No, thanks, Chair.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable, sorry, Mr. Municipal Manager.
Chair, there were two things that we just needed clarity on. As you said, we should respond on certain issues. Should I take it that what Honorable Mente mentioned around the issues of that we need to clear issues of salaries, allowances. Should it be part of that?
Absolutely.
Okay. The second one, there's information that was requested. We have received the emails in that regard. And should we still provide that? We can be able to provide that now.
Yeah, you can provide it. Don't wait for the other information. Provide it. Yeah,
available
you can send it to the secretariat, and then the other information can follow. All right. Can I ask that we get all of this by? Is it 7 days? Okay. It's Tuesday today. Can we get it? Close of when we get here on Tuesday. Could we have got it at least on Monday night? Is that fine? Is that fine?
That's in order, Chair.
All right, thank you very much. Honorable Mayor, I don't know if you've got any other comments to make, because I'm going to adjourn the meeting.
No, thank you, the Chairperson. Mine is just only to thank honorable members and even to appear before the committee so that we are being shown where are we looking as a municipality. And I believe even the community out there, they can attest to what we are saying as a municipality in terms of the leaking areas that we have as a municipality. But nothing more, Honorable Chair. I think as the municipality, as we go back and make sure that what we were advised and what we were told here and what we were discussing here, we take it very seriously, start to take us seriously, so that we could give the community what they deserve. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Apart from thanking you, which I will do just now, I really would like you to take heed of what Honorable Skosana and Honorable Madlala, and I think the other members in different ways, that yes, there are, and Honorable Atkinson, yes, there are challenges of being a small rural municipality and so on, which is the case in many municipalities. But if we are frank with one another, there is a serious leadership deficit at Masilonyana. That much is clear, just from the discussion that we've had. And I think, without repeating what Honorable Madlala said earlier on, which is very important, that the disappointing thing, at least for me sitting here, was not seeing the fighting spirit with you on some of the matters that we considered, that we discussed, the issues relating to revenue and so on. We would expect urgency when you've had disclaimed audit opinions for so long. That we would expect urgency, whether it is on revenue collection and so on. We should be here screaming at COCTA to give you more money to fight the case that you want to fight, so that the mining companies can pay you. But we are not able to do so because it doesn't look like yourselves you want to box. And that is a very serious problem. And we are here to help more than anything, not to give you a hard time for its own sake. We are really here to help, but the leadership needs to show the fight necessary for us to be motivated to help you. Otherwise, it looks like we're doing this on our own and we can't run the municipality. So I just want to leave you with that thought. And I will say what Honorable Mente said about Mama Winnie. And I think Honorable Skosana invoked the late Oliver Tambo. You know, these names matter. I always ask myself, if those people were to wake up from their graves and see what we're discussing here, what would they say? I always feel a deep sense of embarrassment and obligation just out of that. Or, you know, if we were to die and go to the other side, what are we going to say when they say, what are you people doing there? How do I even look at them? So sometimes, you know, we can't legislate everything. Sometimes we need to go to a deep place such as that to say we can't disappoint these people who suffered so much for us, so that we can have municipalities we run ourselves. So I just want to leave you, colleagues, with that thought. But thank you very much for taking the time to come here and staying up late with us here. So I really appreciate that. And may you please travel safely home. Honorable members, thank you very much. We'll adjourn.